Welcome to the Scribe Platform Partner Program. I'm Lynn Harrington, Director of the program, and this is a first of several videos that really highlight the components and resources available to you as a member of the program. So welcome. This is about getting started, and today we're going to mainly focus on planning for success, which is key. We work very closely with our partners during the first 90 to 120 days. We're going to share with you some best practices and what we've seen work well, and in an effort really to get you started very quickly and ensure success. So you may remember from the sales cycle that we talked a lot about the life cycle of an integration. Of course, the Scribe Online platform is actually developed to support that life cycle, and our program is set up to support the life cycle of our joint partnership. So you're going to see over time lots of resources, best practices, and different program offerings to support you along the way. And we're just going to highlight a few of them today, really, again, focusing on that success. So success starts with the strategy, defining metrics, and then really putting in an account plan. So many of you may say, okay, through the business planning, I worked on several of these components, and you may have it all covered. But we find that answering these questions are really key to defining a strategy. So we would recommend that you go through these questions, and just to give you some additional support, we actually have some standard answers to these questions, which you're welcome to take a look at and utilize any of that information that's in there if that's appropriate for you. After you've answered these questions, it's really important that you communicate them not only to your management team but the rest of the company so that they really understand your integration strategy. The last question is highlighted because we feel this is one of the most important questions. We have partners that have taken two approaches to getting started with the integration offerings that you can build on Scribe Online. The first are partners who had a very defined integration offering or set of offerings. They built that integration and then they put their marketing and sales efforts behind that. It was an investment in an initial offering that went into market, and then they could use that really as a template as they rolled out other integration offerings. The second approach that we've seen is partners that sort of look at the market and wait for certain opportunities to come to them, and that defines where they're going to put their efforts in at first. We have found the former to be a much more successful approach, and therefore we recommend that you really take a look at defining an integration solution, an initial one, and that's how you enter the market. Success metrics. Everyone I know knows how important it is to know what you're working towards and when you're going to be able to define that you've done that successfully. I think probably the first couple of metrics here are pretty standard, that people know that they certainly want to leverage integration to increase market share or to increase revenue. But there's some other great metrics that you may want to take a look at and really measure as a company, such as a reduction in churn rate. So is integration making your application stickier? Are maybe your customers using your application even more with integration in the mix? So go beyond maybe just the top two that most focus on and really look at other ways that you can measure whether you're being successful or not. And then the third area is around account planning. We highly recommend that you put at least a high-level account plan in place for year one. And we ask that you actually share the strategy, the metrics, and this account plan with us at Scribe. This way we can make sure we're both aligned and that we're supporting your efforts. We have lots of additional resources and components that we don't necessarily cover in these videos that we can bring to bear should that be appropriate. So by sharing this with us, we can just further ensure your success. Okay, there's a more in-depth video on the go-to-market, but I just want to spend a couple of minutes highlighting some of the things that you will need to think about around your go-to-market strategy. So first is the early release program. We really do recommend that you start with a program that allows you to work very closely with a small subset of customers. You're able to prove out your solution, but also learned through the experience, and then you're able to gather some customer evidence, which will be the foundation as you go into your initial launch and sales enablement programs. So we have, again, a template that you can utilize for that, and there's more detail in the video on that. Sales enablement is the next area. And think about, is it just enabling your sales team, or what are your other routes to market? Do you have a partner ecosystem that also needs to be enabled? If so, you'll need to think about what it will take to get them so that they're comfortable selling your integration offerings. The third is the initial marketing launch. And what are the things that you need to do, and what are the ways that we could work together through joint press releases and marketing materials to make sure that you're getting the most exposure around your new integration offerings. Someday in the near future, we'll have a full community for our partners, but right now we have a Microsoft SharePoint site where all of the templates and items that I've talked about, all of the resources, both technical and business related, are included. And so you want to keep this link. It was included in your welcome email, so hopefully you still have your welcome email. You'll just need to click on that link. You'll get here to the portal, and everything that you would be looking for would be included here. You certainly will be notified when we do migrate over to more of a community offering. So, in finishing up, let's highlight some key next steps. Document and communicate your strategy. Make sure you answer those questions completely and then communicate those out to your organization. Define your metrics, and beyond the obvious, look for some other metrics that would help you to really further support your business case and get the most out of your Scribe relationship. And then the third, of course, is to schedule your account planning call. You would schedule that with me. And again, that's just about ensuring alignment between the two of us. Thank you for your time, and again, welcome to the program.